Whoa, stop right there. I know you're going to comment something angry. You see the title and you're getting angry. You're getting theory. She used the word female. This guy is a menace. He's evil. He's diabolical. He's Dr. Evil. Oh my God, I hate him. If you got angry at the title, if you're thinking about the title and getting hell-bent to type out something angry at me, this video is not for you. If you don't see anything wrong with the title, as a matter of fact, if you use this term men and females, if you say women and men and it sounds strange, you think men and women sound better, it flows better, this video is for you. If you know who the top streamer is, who's the top streamers? Name the top 10 streamers. Go ahead. 10 top streamers. You can be like XQC, Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, IShowSpeed. You can say those are top streamers. Now, among women, they're not that many. We got Valkyrae, Pokimane, Senna. I think that's what we got so far. Not many women in the top echelon of streaming. You consider Ludwig and all these other people, but a lot of women aren't really in the top echelon of streaming. Now, why is that? Why is that? As a matter of fact, I'll do a fun thought experiment for you. Really fun thing here. I need you to go to Twitter or X, whatever you want to dead name it, your decision. I need you to go to Twitter right now and type in the word Pokimane. Just type in the word and scroll down and tell me what you see. I need you to come back here and comment and tell me what you see. That's really important for this whole experiment here. Now, even if you typed in something angry towards me or if you don't like the word female, I'm going to explain the horrors of being online. Now, for the people that have come back now and have seen what is on Twitter or X, isn't that gross? Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that nasty? Do you know what being a woman, make it better for you, I didn't say female. Do you know what being a woman online means? It means stepping into a room where every door leads to a mirror, but none of them show who you really are. None of them show what you are or how you operate, only warped projections of who you are. Too big, you're too fat, oh my goodness, you're a cow, but you just have nice curves. But they want a skinny girl like Sydney Sweeney or Sabrina Carpenter. They want that. Or you're not blonde and you're disgusting. You got a nose ring, oh, you must have mental health issues. So you adopt these traits, you adopt these personalities. I'm a BPD girly, it grips they, them coochie. Well, flash hole news ass, that's not your entire personality. That's not what you are. And so you become to cannibalize these things. You begin to say statements such as, all men, all men, all men. When it's not really all men, and it's not really all women. It's people that suck, overall. Because these projections of men, the projections, they believe they built who you are. That's what they done. Each time you log into Club Penguin or Facebook or Instagram or the revival of Fusion Fall, which is now out, great game by the way. Don't know if you know about Fusion Fall, but I'm playing that game like religiously. It's been super fun. Each login becomes a sacrifice to the god of surveillance. Your IP can get tracked down by a psychopath that thinks you're a bit too pretty. Some person can use your eyelids to get a screen reflection of your location. You get stalked. Your voice casts a spell on these people. Oh, it's amazing. I've become infatuated with your existence. The idea of who you are has enamored me. Your own throat becomes distrust. That's what happens. You begin to believe the lies. You enter the digital space clothed in armor made of garbage, all filth. But it's told that you are leading these men on each and every single time. Every single time. Why does Pokimane have all that deep fake stuff made about her on Twitter where you can just openly access it? Don't know. No idea. Or maybe I do know. And that's why I'm making this video. You see, it doesn't matter if you stream. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're on Discord. It doesn't matter. To be a woman is to perform. This was a quote said by a woman whose name I do not recall. Why do I not recall her name? Because I've been trained to not recall the names of famous women. Sucks, doesn't it? Isn't that horrifying? You know Martin Luther King, or Martin Luther Prince more so, if you want to call his real technical name. You know Gandhi. You know Adolf. But you don't know the cohorts around there. All patriarchal in the aspects. I'm not here to white knight or preach to you. Because I want to talk about streamers. I want to talk about women. I want to talk about the reality of it. Because streaming to me is no longer a job. It's no longer a hobby. No longer a performance. It's become an endurance test to see how long until somebody appears at your house with flowers in hand and saying, "You're my number one. I believe in you. I've gifted you 5,000 subs and I love everything about you." It is horrifying. It becomes a scary tug and pull, a truth or dare game, guessing if you tell this person enough truths that are actually lies about your life, they're going to dare themselves to come and stalk you. That's what's going to happen. And do not let them figure out you have a boyfriend. That's the end of everything. Now that you've gotten a brief summary of what I'm going to talk about today, let's get into the actual subjects. Let's go, buddies. All right. Ever since I became an online content creator, the first thing I learned on the internet is that my humanity is the first thing erased. And the last thing they'll believe in, last thing anyone will believe in about me is my actual humanity. I get approached on the street online and people think that I'm just some performer, some aspect of my reality. The few little moments you get to spend with me online you think is my entire being. Even if I'm bleeding through the seams of what I am, you guys think that by all means, I am just here for your entertainment. This is horrifying. And with women, it's even harder because there's no forgiveness for failure, even if you're at the top peak of everything. No softness without suspicion. No silence without punishment. This is really, really bad. And even your joy is dissected. Oh, she's too happy. Wait a minute, she must have a boyfriend. She must be getting piped down. I wonder what her feet smell like. This is really bad, isn't it? Every smile becomes an unpaid contract. Every sigh becomes public property. All right, let's figure it out. When the camera cuts off, we gotta track her location. We gotta figure that out. This is horrifying. Your existence is not a stream when you are a woman streamer. It is surveillance. You are not allowed to simply be. You are demanded to perform, to entertain, to remain digestible, even when the hunger in your words could tear the marrow from your spine. This is a horrifying reality. But I sound very poetic right now. Let's talk even beyond this. I like to call this the economy of objectification. So let's say you are wildly pretty. You're a beautiful woman online. You have a pretty good fan base. People enjoy you, but they keep asking, when's the OF dropping? When's the OF dropping? When you've told them, I'm not going to do that. I don't want that much access to you guys. I'm not going to do that. So you start losing viewers. People start leaving because they're not here to watch you play video games despite the fact that you're good at them. They're here because they've fallen in love with you because they thought they were going to have access to your unmentionables. That's what they thought. Existing as a woman in the digital realm, the Digimon digital realm, means being evaluated, priced, consumed, and discarded in real time by strangers whose desires, they believe their desires grant dominion over your entire body. That's what they think. They think, oh, okay, well, you have big chests, so obviously you want to show them to me, yes? No? Well, then you suck. That's what happens. Your value fluctuates with your angles, your tones, and your willingness to absorb humiliation without breaking character or daring to declare your exhaustion. Oh, I'm sleepy today. Oh, sleepy today, eh? Okay, well, you should have streamed because I needed to look at you. I've been watching your past streams using them as material, but it's horrifying. This is sad. It's really sad to me. Because a lot of men, that's right, men. Actually, you know, a lot of males, they call it admiration. But their compliments are measurements. And the gifts they give you, the gifting subs, they're investments into a fantasy you never consented to fund. That's what happens. That's the reality of it all. You don't even gotta be famous. That's the worst part. You don't even have to be pretty or famous. You don't have to be that. You just have to be. Every second online becomes a transaction where the cost is always your breast, and the profit is always their satisfaction. That's what happens. Take a look at Pokimane. Pokimane does not have an OF or anything of that variety. As a matter of fact, she barely does anything ridiculous. She makes a few off-color contents that are horribly insensitive because of her fame. And I think that's the worst of most of her offenses besides her being a hypocrite. Which is not as horrible as a lot of other people, but I'm not excusing it. Truly, I'm not. What I witnessed with Pokimane is all the time, every single time something happens, people say, oh, she's using it as bait, gooner bait, something of that variety. I have been online for quite some time, and I have seen her streams at length at this point. I've seen Valkyrie streams, I have seen Senna streams, and they are thirst trapping, is what men will tell you, right? They'll tell you that all the time. But I was in there for 3 hours and nothing was going on. And then a singular moment, they just did one small thing and that got clipped completely out of context. And by all means, this sucks. The affection from viewers, fewer people, the affection from viewers does not end when the stream ends. Because affection was never the point. Ownership was. They feel like they own these people behind the things. And the boundary between you and them is erased by their assumption of intimacy. That's what's, they are assuming they love you. That's what's happening. It's weird. They do not ask if you're okay. That's not a question that happens. They ask, why aren't you online? Why weren't you online yesterday? Why you didn't smile today? Your tone was different. And their concern is a mask stitched over surveillance. They act as if, okay, wait. Okay, let me think about this. So she's angry today. She must have had a fight with a male figure in her life. That's what's going on. A male figure. And then if you break down, if it becomes too much, if you get too many messages of their phallic members in the DMs and you actually get stressed out, your trauma now becomes entertainment. Oh, this is fun. This is great. Oh, I got her angry. She's paying attention to me. Oh, that's what relationships do. My parents were arguing all the time. So if I can make her angry, we're basically a married couple. This is amazing. And your healing becomes their inconvenience. That's what happens. Because if you're not sad, you won't need them. You're too happy. Oh, it's just too much. I need a woman that's sad so I can break them down into the person I love. They tell themselves they care. But their care has a weight. And that weight is on your chest like a metal plate, hurting and hurling down in your chest and hitting your chest receptacles. But you got enough cushion. You should be fine. You got big milkers, don't you? This is amazing. The weight suffocates until your breath becomes a script you can no longer improvise. This is horrifying. Every day, every single day, you must pretend. You gotta pretend that the locks on your accounts, your door, your voice, your soul are still intact. Even when the banging gets louder, open up a little piggy. Ha ha! The wolves will come and try to eat you. Even if you got a brick house, they have mortars. They have nuclear weapons. And it's thousands of them. It's a war of attrition. And sometimes you only got yourself, especially when you're coming up. I've heard the statement that it's easier to be a streamer if you are a woman. That's not true. It's only simpler to get more eyes on you. That does not make it easier for you. It is significantly simpler to get more eyes on you if you are a woman and get more of an active chat. That is true if you are a woman, without a doubt. If you're a man, you got to have some very specific skill or something of that variety. That's what happens. But why is the top spots dominated by men, you may ask? Think about that for a second. It's so easy to be a woman while you stream. Why are there no top streamers that are equivalent to Kai Cenat or IShowSpeed? Why don't you see a lot of women doing a lot of IRL streams the same as IShowSpeed? Think about that for a second. Put that into your brain. Why don't you see Pokimane traveling as IShowSpeed does? Why don't you see there's a women Kai Cenat? Why don't you see that? Why? Why is that? That's strange, isn't it? Strange. How odd. You see, this is what happens. Every single time. The color of your walls change. They change to become pixels, code, DNA. You can't even trust people anymore. You can't even trust your friends each time. There is no just ignore it. You can't ignore it because ignoring doesn't erase the knowledge that you and your entire being are being watched, traced, cataloged, and targeted with fine precision. This is horrifying. Now, we're going to have somebody in the comments saying that men go through this too. And I would like to acknowledge the fact that if they are at the top echelon, XQCs, Ludwig, things of that variety, yes, they do go through that. But I can go jog at night. I can just go jog, right? At 2 o'clock in the morning, I can just go jog easily. No issues for me. Now imagine if jogging at night was a phenomenon that everybody could do. Wouldn't that be fun? And yes, I can acknowledge the horrifying aspects of everything. Existing online is no longer existing. It doesn't exist anymore. It's dodging, editing, hiding, gaslighting yourself into believing you're paranoid when in fact you're just aware. Because it's not paranoia. When you have people appear, send acid to people, when you have people that become so disgustingly obsessed. The worst thing is, if you reach the top, you can't stop streaming. You know what it's like if I don't upload? People think I've fallen off. You fell off, bro. 10 views in 3 hours? That's crazy. 1,000 views in 2 minutes? You fell off, bro. Nah, it seems fun to say those statements. It's really fun. But to people, it gets to them. Oh, it ruins their brain. It rots them. As if you're eating sweets all the time. Your teeth are falling out of your mouth. It's nasty. The internet does not mourn you either. It will replace you. If I simply just disappeared from the online spectrum, you guys would say, man, you had a bunch of fun videos. I wonder where he went. Disappeared. There is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Mitten Squad. Mitten Squad just completely disappeared. It was discovered that Mitten Squad is no longer of this dimension, no longer exists with us. Horrifying to me. And we could say, oh man, we cared about the person, but you found someone else, didn't you? You found someone else, so I have to log in again, and they have to log in again. They have to powder their nose, polish it. There's a very famous image. It's right behind me. See this image? See that? That's Pokimane without makeup. Oh my God, she's ugly. She's not ugly. Realistically, no. She just doesn't have makeup on. Makeup is a lie. It's a scam. If you are like that in my audience, I really don't want you here, but I can't control who's a part of my audience realistically. You guys will watch me regardless. It doesn't matter to me. They have to perform with a smile, makeup, so it's nasty. It's strained. It's disgusting. They're all convincing you that they're okay. It's nasty. And they have to lie. It's a lie every single time to themselves, every moment. They have to perform. Gratitude for crumbs. Apologize for breathing weird. They can't eat on stream because that's too much. They notice that view count go down when they start eating. It's nasty. It's nasty. I want to believe that the internet is freedom. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe that you're able to fly and do whatever you want. You can make an entire business online, LLCs, things of that variety. That's what you want. But this is more like a coliseum, is what it feels. I'm fighting all the time. And I watch women fight all the time. And as I've gotten the medium amount of fame, I've been speaking to a lot more women about how they feel about the online space. Women around my same level when it comes to following count. They don't leave their house. I didn't know that. They don't leave their house. They have donations set up and things of that variety, and men will donate in droves, thousands of hundreds of dollars. And a lot of men will send horrifying, evil message. It's horrifying. They say you have power, but only as long as your performance stays pleasing. Only as long as your skin, and I do mean your skin, stays visible and your rage stays swallowed. This is why the VTuber space is dominated by women, because they can keep that anonymity without showing themselves. This is important because you're not a creator in their eyes. I'm not a creator. Neither are the women that do this stuff. They're not creators. They're a vendor of attention, a siren paid in compliments that sting when they stop. That's what happens. A dancer in a cage built of ring lights and comment threads and digital doorways. This is the reality of it. You know what's crazy? I don't think a lot of them even agreed to be famous. I think they may have started it a little bit and they have noticed the fame going on. They only agreed to be seen. There is an image on Twitter going around right now with this Japanese salary woman. And she's a model and she works a salary job on her side gigs and things of that variety. And outside of that, there was that Indian girl who also posted this. And they often say, why are all these women starting up all these things? Why are they starting up the OF and things of that variety? Well, if there wasn't a market for it, there wouldn't be so many of them. It's not as if somebody said, okay, well, we should stop drinking soda. And everybody knows soda is bad. So why is soda so popular? Well, that's because people are buying soda. That's what's happening. I know someone's going to comment, you shouldn't compare women to soda. You shouldn't compare them to objects. That's objectification. I'm using an analogy. Calm down, please. This is the horrifying part. And now let's talk about men for a moment, if we could, please. Hey guys, this is for you. I know you're sick of the all men comments, right? The, oh my goodness, it's all men. They say it's all men. You know what's crazy? They say it's not all men. You know, you're right. It is not all men. But it's great. It doesn't need to be all men. It doesn't. It just needs to be the ones who find their real name or their address or the time their voice trembled and decided that tremble meant invitation. That's the men. And I know, oh, the bad ones ruin it for them. Yes, it may be the vocal minority, but it's mostly men. It is mostly men. Very, I don't see many people stalking Duke Dennis. I don't. I don't see many people doing that. There are women that stalk men, yes, there are. But they are few, very few, and far between. And the men are abundant. There are too many cases of it for it to be just coincidence. You know what they often say when it happens when it's just men? They say just log off. Like you can unplug your livelihood, your community, your reputation, your dreams. As if survival is an option. Just pick up a job, bro. Go to get a regular job. Okay, all right. So a woman leaves the online space and just goes to get a job, right? They go to get a job, say an office or a McDonald's, and they get harassed by their manager. And HR doesn't really take them seriously because it wasn't recorded, or you're scared of losing your job because you just take the abuse and harassment. That's the crux of the Me Too movement, by the way. That's how it started. Is because women had jobs. Well, women should just stay home then. They don't have to go outside. They can just stay and their man can fix things. Really? In this economy? In this economy, you can do that? Well, I want your job, guy. I want your job. Whatever your job is, I'd like to figure that out. That'd be great. That'd be amazing. This is the paradox of women. This is what's going on. This is what happens. They are told to take breaks, but punished for their absence. Advised to be yourself, but criticize when that self shows too much spine or too little skin, or both somehow. Because contradictions are the no-win games. They force you to play. That's what happens. And every new follower could be the one who sends a gift or a threat, or both in the same package. I was watching a stream recently, and someone sent a donation. It was $800. The person had about 30 people in there, and she was very thankful. She said, "Oh my God, thank you for sending $800. And then he commented in the chat and said, "That's it? Not going to give me your number or anything like that? I should refund that. I thought I was going to get a number." I witnessed this person say, "Well, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend," and things. And then he refunded the $800 donation that he gave. Refunded it. Watched it in real time. Watched him refund that whole PayPal transaction. It was crazy. Hate to see it. Nuts. What's crazy that the girl that I was watching, she wasn't doing anything provocative. She was in a hijab playing Super Mario 64. That's all, she was playing Super Mario 64. That's all she was doing. She wasn't being provocative. No makeup on. Just vibing. Just chilling. That's it. Doing nothing. Women online, they have to learn to read messages as if they're landmines. To scroll through their inbox. I like the bomb analogy. Like a bomb tech. Yeah, like a bomb tech. Trying to figure out which wire is going on. Figuring it out. Bomb squad. Boom, explosion. They have to treat every compliment like a handshake. Hiding a knife or a blade or a gun that could actually end them. Because that's actually what could probably happen. It's not even a like at that point. That's really what could happen. They develop instincts that their male counterparts will never need. How to fake interest without invitation. How to perform joy while monitoring escape routes. How to thank someone who just objectified you so they don't escalate into danger. They smile not because they're happy, but because the smile is the only protection they have. The smile is basically survival. It is a mask that muffles the scream, the anger. And when they do get angry, oh, she's crashing out. She's hysterical. She's nuts. And the platform that you have to entertain on all the time, the platform that you might lose, is your world, your voice, and your future. I know someone's going to, regardless of this part, someone's going to comment, they could just not stream. They could just do something else. Work a hard job like I do. Or get a man. They can just find a guy and settle down. The guy will take care of everything. They should just be in the house and be a mom. God, I love people on the internet. I love the freedom people have to be stupid. It's really fun. I love it because every comment that's going to comment in anger or something of that variety is going to boost me higher in the algorithm, and it's going to make them so much angrier. It's so nice. So nice. It's really nice. It's really, really nice to witness people that have such a narrow-minded view of the world and don't see the nuance of everything. Firstly, I would like to state this before I do a cut or something of that variety. It's obviously not all men. I know that. I'm aware it's not all men. But it's enough. Please remember that it is enough men to where now it is an epidemic. Not every shark is going to kill you. As a matter of fact, every shark isn't even dangerous, but people still fear sharks. Vending machines are significantly more dangerous than sharks. More people die to vending machines than sharks. They do. That's a real fact and statistic. That doesn't mean that sharks aren't feared because of Jaws, the minority, the movie Jaws. Name a famous serial killer that was a woman. Right now, like I want the common perception. If you think of famous serial killer, do you think of women immediately? Does your first thought think of a woman immediately? Mine thinks of Elizabeth Bathory. If you don't know who Elizabeth Bathory is, one of my first thoughts. That's what I think of. But I think about Ed Gein. Think about Ted Bundy. I think about those people. Jack the Ripper. Jack, not Jill the Ripper. No, Jack and Jill went up the hill. No, bucket of water. No, it's Jack the Ripper. That's what happens. This is tragic to me. I think the worst part is how normalized it is. How even other women echo the men's criticisms. That's what happens all the time. Women aren't women's friends. Not in any capacity. Oh, she's got too short a skirt. Oh, her breast is too big. She must be doing this for the male gaze. This is ridiculous. This is upsetting. And it becomes this competition of you're not womanly enough to do this and you're doing this for men and this is ridiculous. It's the pick-me's and things of that variety. It's weaponized by proximity to male approval, turning trauma into a competition and safety into a luxury. It's stupid. It's dumb. What's crazy is that often, you know what they're told? You're exaggerating. That's just the internet. As if these platforms don't blur into the real world. As if your phone isn't your pocket-sized predator, pinging with reminders that someone somewhere is waiting for you to slip. And if you do, if you speak out, break down, or log off, you're not met with compassion but suspicion. Dissected as if you were a butterfly pinned to the dish. I've been saying pinned to the dish for the past 3 weeks. Keep thinking about it. I saw a butterfly pinned to a dish, and it's the only thought that's going through my mind right now because I didn't know they pin butterflies to dishes to dissect them, and now I'm thinking about it. And I've done dissections of frogs before, but man, that's crazy. And did you know that if you put salt on a frog leg after it's passed out and destroyed, it will move around? Isn't that nuts? Because even after you tell this woman all these bad things that happen, all these horrible things, and if you mess with her, poke her, she still reacts. Isn't that so fun? Because you just want a reaction. You're treating women like frog legs. That's what happens. It's horrifying. And I wish women liked other women. I really do. I wish other women didn't view women as competitions. Oftentimes when a man cheats, the woman will attack the other woman and say, stay away from my man, things of that variety. Not really sure why that happens. As if more often than not, it is not the anger that they are angry at. They're not angry at their man. They're angry at their friends. Well, how could you sleep with my man? How could your man sleep with them? How'd that happen? Didn't your man have enough self-control? Oh, women are tempting. We're told that women who haven't even hit puberty yet, walking around in shorts, 13-year-olds, are tempting the older men to uncles, things of that variety. And that transfers online. That's what happens. So where we have people like the Belle Delphine who age bait people. And you know what's the worst part about the age baiting is that it works. That's the worst part about it, is that it works. The worst part to me is that it's working. That's horrifying. Every day online has become an audition for safety for women. And no one tells you the role you're fighting for because it doesn't even exist. It doesn't exist. You're not fighting. You can't fight for safety here. What happens is you'll twist yourself into slogans or sound bites. You make your horrors of your life, the horror parts, the trauma that you say, oh, BPD girly. Oh, I'm a daddy's girl. I have daddy issues. I have this. I have that. It becomes an aesthetic. That's what happens. The aesthetic of they, them, coochie or BPD, girly grip or mental grip, sake, all this garbage, hootenanny, all this gobbledygook, all this sloopligop, all this mickle boink, stupid.
You are watched, not seen, consumed, not known, demanded, not asked. And all it leaves is you aching in places that don't even have names. With bruises that never bloom, they don't bloom, but they still throb underneath your skin. Phantom limbs is what they are. That's what they are. Phantom limbs. This is horrifying.
The reason I'm talking about this today and the reason this is brought up to me in any capacity is because of Collective Shout. Collective Shout sucks. I hate everything they're doing, but they believe they are protecting women somehow by going so far in the option of protecting women that any violence towards women should be taken off the internet. All this stuff should be destroyed, annihilated. We should get rid of all of it. Any provocativity, all of it, anything with a P word in it, it's destroying and ruining our brains. That's not a solution either. That's not a solution. The solution should be a reformatting of people's mindsets. It should be a change to societal norms. Back in the day, and this happens all the time, back in the day, the common figure was, oh, a skinny woman. A common phrase that happened was, oh, does my butt look big? Does my butt look big? As if that was a bad thing back in the day. Before that, before the does my butt look big phenomenon caused by Eurocentric beauty standards, it was these people. The Aphrodites, the figures of marble, the beautiful exonerations, the jubilations of beautiful adornments. Weight was viewed as beauty because the more weight you had, the better you could eat. It was viewed as refinement. It was viewed as luxury. And the skinnier you were, that means the less you ate. It was seen as poor poverty not to eat. But it shifts every time. And right now, not sure which one it is right now. I believe BBLs are trending right now, but I also think Sabrina Carpenter is a thing. So people are bringing little booties back, which is great for women with little booties and things of that variety. But it always switches. The public zeitgeist always switches. I wish there was a switch that relied on the change of male patterns and how they thought. That's what I thought. That's what I wish. Because women don't deserve that. The horror, to me, is not just the threats or the doxing or the obsession. Not all the... No. That's the weak part. It's the quiet erosion of your sense of self when you are a woman. The way you begin to think in filters and thumbnails, the way your reflection becomes a brand instead of a person. It's the way you second guess every word, every pause, every outfit, every sigh, every vocal inflection, every single second, wondering if this is the moment someone decides to punish you for it. It's the weight of being so visible, you disappear. Of being so hyper real that people forget that you're alive. I saw something on Twitter. I saw this right here. It's a very hyper realistic, lifelike doll. Very horrifying. Real teeth and everything. I saw this and it baffled me. It made me disgusted. It's the way they hold their breath every time they go live. Just in case. And yet, you stay. The women stay. Not because you owe men anything. Not because you're unbothered. But because disappearing, my dear lady, would mean they win. And you're too tired to win, obviously. But you're too stubborn to surrender. You stay because you're carved out of a sliver of space. And even if it's sharp and unstable, it's yours. And you won't hand it over to people who think women is a synonym for target. You stay because your voice matters, right? Even when it shakes. You stay because you shouldn't have to feel this. You shouldn't have to leave to feel safe. You stay even when it hurts. You stay even when they wish you wouldn't. You stay because you are not their fantasy. You are real. You are watching. You are fire. And no one discovered you. You have always existed. You've always been here, burning down forests, being there, a warmth for everybody. But they will soon realize, very soon, the fire will grow uncontrollable and burn down the world.
What happens after the fire? After the ashes clear? Regrowth. I often think, this is a thought I have often, about our mother, the mother that we disrespect every single day. The earth. Mother Gaia. Mother Earth. It's not Father Earth. Earth has never been referred to as a father. Because a mother gives. Mother gives pieces of herself that will grow back stronger and more vibrant and beautiful every single moment of every single day. That is what will happen. There's a reason why most hurricanes are named after women. There's a reason why the earth is a giver and not a taker. The earth does not take. We take from her. Every single instance of every single moment, we divide and divvy out the pieces of her soul to us, the population, her children, who are so unthankful, who pollute her, who throw trash on her, who annihilate her. But the mother is never violent. I want you to sit in a forest of trees, witness mushrooms, witness amoxicillin, witness fungi, witness how everything is connected, how we all come from one singular place. Witness how the earth has to be a woman, because despite the abuse that the earth takes, the earth is still here. And when humans are no longer here, the earth will persist. And when men are no longer watching, the women will still go on. That is what will happen. To the people that probably were mad at the title, I used the word female. That's simply to get people here. I'm aware you guys don't like the word female. I'm not an idiot. I know what's going on. Because it's more of a scientific classification as opposed to what they actually are. It's demeaning them down to their base roots and just their genitals of what they are. I know. I'm not stupid. Someone's still going to comment it regardless, even if I at this point at the end. Even if I chaptered the video in specific sections, not really going to change much. Anyway, since you made it to the end of the video, you probably want to have some fun little part at the end here. So, I am horrified to go outside for the most part. Took my glasses off because I usually do this because the lights get in my eyes. These lights here, they get in my eyes a lot and it hurts really bad. And also people comment on my eyes and say I look very tired. I do not like that at all. I don't like when people comment about my eyes. I'm not sleepy. I rest very well. I have a pretty good sleep schedule for the most part. But I'd like to state something here. I am terrified to go outside because I had somebody approach me recently and they were just weird overall. It wasn't threatening or anything of that variety. It was just strange, the encounter I had. It was odd. And I think when people see me in person, they often think to themselves, oh, he's going to be entertaining or something of that variety. Or maybe he's putting on a joke or an act. No. I'm pretty much the same offline and online. There's no real difference between the two. I don't really change as a human being. I'll ask you a disturbing question is what I'll do. I don't have to restrict myself offline. I can be worse is what I can do. I can ask you worse questions. I have to use fun little words, gobbledygook and things of that variety, but I can say horrifying things in person. I can ask you questions you wouldn't even consider. Like, what STD would you give North Korea if you had to take them out? Just stuff like that, just horrifying questions. So, yeah. Thank you guys for checking out my video, if you made it this far. Anyways, if you're curious about the song that's going to play after I get out of here, it's called Like That by Taraj, Taraj. He's a Detroit artist, amazing content creator, just an amazing voice and amazing spirit. Had a show yesterday that I didn't go to because I've been mentally going through a lot. Hope you like my shirt too. True Love shirt, by the way. True Love and the font of our favorite website, True Love. Favorite shirt. I love this shirt so much. Great shirt. Anyways, have a lovely day or night wherever you are. Bye.
I'm your Nick at night, be my Laura, low. Happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you